Hey guys, it's Overlord here, back in another video, and today we're talking about my top 10 favorite Marvel Legends of 2017. Now keep in mind, this is my list. If you have a top 10 Marvel Legends of 2017, some of yours didn't make it onto mine, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Make your own. Although at this point, you probably already have. I am a bit late in the game to this. It's only the second last week of January. But I was determined to get as many as I could. And unfortunately, it's not the case. I didn't get hardly any exclusives other than, say, single figures. So no box sets, no 2-packs, no nothing's going to make it onto this list. But I do have some honorable mentions I'd like to get out of the way first. So let's get on with those. Now, while these may just be honorable mentions, I still have to give cred where it's due. I have to say, overall, pretty decent year for Marvel Legends, actually. The movie figures definitely have stepped it up a lot. But in particular, I wanted to give credit to this Wolverine here, because when you top the original, your predecessor, which would be the Juggernaut Wave 1, with not only better coloring and extra accessories, but just overall presence, it's very nice. Some other honorable mentions I would like to give a bit of cred to Tombstone and the Beetle, Dazzler, Shatterstar, and Sunfire, and Blade. Blade's ass kind of prevented him from getting on the list, but I digress. So let's move on to the number 10 spot. And starting off at the number 10 spot, we have from the Okoye Build-A-Figure Wave, Ironman. Now you're probably thinking, what? An Ironman on Overlord's list? How is this possible? Well, I have to say, this is a damn good Iron Man. Probably Hasbro's best attempt at the character. He comes with a couple sets of hands, some repulsor blasts for his open hands, a Tony Stark head, and a cannon that mounts on his arms. Aside from the ankles being a little bit stiff and some people breaking them off, and the fact that this is a new figure, brand new, just came out a few weeks ago. That's why he ranks this low on the list, just because I haven't had that much time to, mess around with him. But I think he definitely deserves this spot on the list for those reasons, nonetheless. Coming in at the number 9 spot from the Gladiator Hulk Build-A-Figure Wave, we have Thor, in particular Jane Foster Thor. I was actually pretty excited for this figure. It's almost a completely new mold. Has some bicep swivels, which, I'm kind of not so keen on that with female figures, just because of how delicate their arms can be and how much smaller they are than some of the male figures, but it kind of works with this character, even though she does have the swivel at the elbow as well. My only major complaint with this figure is her hammer is a bit loose in her hand there, but other than that, the sculpt is nice. I like the fact that the wings on her helmet and boots made out of a nice sturdy plastic instead of that soft stuff that we're used to seeing with things like that. Her hair is made of that, but it definitely works for the figure, and I don't have the cape falling off problem that everyone else has, so she definitely deserves this spot on the list. Coming in at the number 8 spot, and this is where the negative comments may start coming in, is Bullseye from the Man-Thing Build-A-Figure Wave. I have to say, I like this figure, but I guess just not as much as everyone else, because he's been like number 1, number 2, like top 5. He does utilize the Spider-Man 2099, the newer one, that body, which was also used on Sunfire. But again, it's a reused figure, which, isn't a surprise with this line. But the gun, the knife, also reused. The hands he's got right now, those are probably reused. But he does come with some unique hands and some very unique head sculpts, as well as a new belt piece. So he definitely deserves this spot on the list, at the very least. And here's where the shitstorm of negative comments really starts flying in. because this guy is why Cyclops never had a chance in hell of getting on this list. Number 7 spot goes to the Warlock Wave, Logan / Wolverine, because, well, that's what it said on the box. I have many issues with that Cyclops figure, aside from the fact that I don't give a shit about Cyclops, but this figure makes up for it 100% because he is almost 100% brand new, aside from the claws, obviously. Has the Taskmaster ankles, which, again, is always nice. And lots of really nice paint. Yeah, the skin might not be perfect on some areas, but I don't really notice things like that. My eyes aren't as good as yours, I suppose, but Logan here, Old Man Logan that is, definitely deserves this spot on the list for those reasons. And coming in at the number 6 spot, just barely fitting on screen, from the Gladiator Hulk Build-A-Figure wave, you have Ares, the God of War. Now, I made the argument before that DC Ares is better because he's got more skulls, and everyone else who doesn't think that can suck it. But I have to admit, for $20, this is a really nice figure, considering the fact that the original version of this guy, which was a Build-A-Figure, was pushing 200 plus on eBay. I mean, just ask Toy Galaxy. The fact that they remade him was awesome. The fact that they gave him Odin's lower leg so he has the ankle rocker means that, yeah, they put a little bit of care into this. And they give him an extra accessory, that axe right there, which I believe came with a Thor originally. King Thor or something like that. But other than that, I really don't have many complaints about this figure. Yeah, the articulation could be better, but I don't want to complain about stupid things like that. I think that's silly. And this figure, for $20, you're definitely getting your money's worth, which is why he takes this spot on the list. Coming down to the wire here, and at the number 5 spot, we have the Walmart exclusive Prince T'Challa, the Black Panther. Now, he may just be a reuse of parts, but he's a damn good reuse of parts. He has the Bucky Cap body. I would have preferred the Spidey 2099 body, but that's neither here nor there. He uses the movie Black Panther's hands, particularly the one from Civil War. And has Kraven's spear and necklace piece, some gripping hands for said spear, and Adam Warlock's cape. But again, if reused parts work well together, then I have really no complaints, which is why he takes this spot on the list. And coming in at the number 4 spot, we have freaking Darkhawk, or Black Eagle, whichever. Shout out to Horde World there. Yeah, we have Darkhawk from the Titus Build-A-Figure wave. I really like this figure. I think it can be very expressive. I mean, I've got him in a lot of really good poses, just on the fly. And this is one of those figures that utilizes some new tech that Hasbro's been experimenting with in the past year, where they take 2 molds, glue them together to prevent from paint rub. In this guy's case, his faceplate, I believe his collar, and the little gem on his chest. The wings, obviously, separate pieces, because, well, how the hell would they be on him that way? But yeah, so very nice utilization of parts on the Spider-Man UK body, which is a body I kind of like. And yeah, definitely deserves this spot on the list. Coming in at the number 3 spot, we have from the Vulture Build-A-Wing wave, Moon Knight. Now, this is a figure I think is kind of underrated this year. I haven't seen him on a lot of top 10s, although I think he kind of deserves it. He's got the Taskmaster-style ankles, which is always nice. And like Darkhawk, he utilizes that new tech of 2 parts to form one to prevent from paint rub. And this guy is definitely one of the cleanest Marvel Legends Hasbro's ever done. Particularly with the white on the black. Came out very nice. The moon on his chest is super clean, and his eyes are very well painted. His accessories could have been a little bit better. I did like the moon glaive the most out of all of them, but I think if his bow staff was a little longer, might have ranked a little bit higher. But he definitely deserves this spot on the list, nonetheless. And coming in at the number 2 spot, definitely winning the most metal Figure of the Year award. But that's another story. From the Mantis Build-A-Figure wave, we have Death's Head 2. Now, like Old Man Logan and Ironman, before him, he did not have any Build-A-Figure parts. definitely benefiting from that because you could tell there was actually some care put into this dude, which is why he ranks this high. And you kind of get the best of all worlds here. He's got Violator horns, Eddie the head face, Predator dreads, Megatron arm, and Chapel boots. I mean, what more could you want? And he's on the Colossus body, which Colossus body's a half-ass decent, bulkier body. Neck might not be proportioned too well, but again, I don't notice things like that. So he definitely deserves at the very least, this spot on the list. And my number one favorite Marvel Legends of 2017 is, you probably already guessed it, yep, it's Angela from the Titus Build-A-Figure Wave. This is a figure I've actually been waiting for years, and not particularly Marvel Legends, just a McFarlane issue, but we never got one, and I'm glad Hasbro decided to make Angela a fully posable figure nonetheless. But in this particular costume, because it's the most reminiscent of her days in Image Comics, just a really gorgeous figure with awesome accessories, using that new tech with multiple parts to prevent from paint rub. I mean, her hair looks like it's got 3-4 parts in it alone, not to mention all the armor she's got going on. So I think you're doing yourself a major disservice not owning this thing. So yeah, she definitely deserves to be number one on my list, but in your collection just in general as well. So congratulations, Angela. You are the number one Marvel Legends of 2017. And the award to Best Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure of the Year goes to the Man-Thing, because awesome sculpt, awesome paint, really obscure character I'm surprised they made. He was, of course, the Build-A-Figure for the, well, self-titled or Netflix Wave, whichever works for you. And I really like this figure. I think it's kind of underrated. You know, you could tell they actually put a lot of time and effort into this with a brand new sculpt, which is, I believe, some of which will be recycled for the Sasquatch figure in the Deadpool wave. But yeah, Man-Thing is just a character I don't think gets enough love in the Marvel or Marvel Legends community, and definitely deserves it because he's got a cool design. And he fits in that same vein as Ghost Rider, Werewolf by Night, Morbius, Blade, what have you. You know, the Midnight Suns, which, you know, definitely tickles my fancy. So he definitely deserves the Best BAF of the Year award, in my opinion. Alrighty, guys, so that was my top 10 favorite Marvel Legends of 2017 and favorite Build-A-Figure of, well, same year. Stay tuned. I will be looking at my top 10 favorite Star Wars Black Series of 2017. Yeah, I know. I have enough to do that now. And at the end of the week, I will be doing an overall top 10 figures from all kinds of lines that I purchased anyways. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a lot of decision making that day. So I hope you're ready for it. And this is my first video trying out the new iPad. Let me know what you think. I did my best to get the audio as loud as I could, because it's kind of soft at first, but hopefully with some editing, it came out just fine. So until next time, I will catch you guys later.